There we go. Okay. So, one, I graded written quiz 1 and written quiz 2. If there's a problem, if I missed your quiz, because I did have to receive some via email because we had some upload issues, you need to email me and we can rectify that. I have figured out, I think, how to re-upload stuff if you do it weird. Okay. Number 2, written quiz number 3. I started grading it and then I stopped. And then I started grading again and then I stopped again. Because I realized that I gave you 2 harder problems for the supply and demand. And I apologize for that. This is my first time teaching this class. So like my level of difficulty was a little bit higher, and I talked to my course coordinator about that. And I think I figured out how to get the level of difficulty. So some of you turned it in and it's really bad. And I don't want to penalize you for that, but I also don't want to just like give everybody 100 and then we don't learn. So I posted a written quiz number 3 do-over. It's optional because I'm going to take the highest of the 2. Okay. I'm going to grade both of them, but I'm going to tell you this one is a lot easier and more to the level it's supposed to be. Okay. And then I will just make sure moving forward that the level of difficulty is correct. And like I said, I apologize about that. So I would say it doesn't hurt to go ahead and do the do-over because it's a lot easier and you might just do better on accident or on purpose. So I would really like you to do it. It is in modules. I think I just moved it. I'm going to move it to this week's module, and it's not going to be due till Monday. Okay. Point number 3. Oh, question.
Yeah, is there any way that you could possibly post our grades from the first one so we could at least maybe know like how we did on that one?
Right. So I didn't grade it yet. I'm still working on it. So that was going to get graded today. It just takes me a minute to get through all 125 of them. Yes. So, yeah, I'm going to grade it. I'm just slowly grading it. It's just, they're really bad.
Right.
And so like,
now it does show that it's due today. Are you just going to go in and change that for Monday for the do-over one?
Yes,
okay.
It's going to be changed. So let me promise I will get the first written quiz done. I got to give myself a deadline. How about by tomorrow? I'll have all of those graded. Let's say tomorrow at 2 p.m. Is that good? I like deadlines because otherwise I struggle. So tomorrow, 2 p.m., that'll be great. And then you can make the decision whether you're going to do the do-over or not. If you did well on the first one, that means your algebra is really, really good because I made them really hard. Okay. You have a test next Thursday, Friday. Okay. And in modules, okay, there is, it's called Test 1, Getting Ready. You need to read that. Okay. Gives you all of the information. Okay. It tells you how the test is going to go, all that stuff. So make sure you read that. Okay. I will have all written quizzes graded, even number 5, by next week's recitation. That's the 23rd. Okay. Because I'm going to go over the first 3 and 4 today, and I'll go over the second 3 and 5 next week. So that's how that goes. My last little announcement is, the honor pledge. It's on my labs, but it won't open until the day of the test. So it's actually in my labs. It'll pop up right before the test. And you'll be able to do that. Okay. Yeah, everything's in My Labs. So the test is in My Labs, and this will tell you about it. Okay. Unlimited attempts. No, you get one attempt. Where does it say it's unlimited attempts? Finding out all kinds of things. On Canvas under test 1. Oh, that's the so my lab syncs with Canvas, and so once you take the test and press submit, it just goes into Canvas. There's nothing you're going to submit to me. The test is completely in My Labs, like you were doing homework, and then it'll sync to Canvas. So ignore what it says in Canvas on the grade side or the assignment side. Make sure you just read the test 1 thing, and it's in My Labs. Does that make sense?
Professor, what does it mean with Thursday and Friday for test?
Okay, so if you read the getting ready, which I'll just bring up now, it says that it opens at 6 p.m. on Thursday, and it closes at 6 p.m. on Friday. So you get 24 hours. Yeah. So the only thing is when you start it, you get 75 minutes, but you can't start it any later than 4:45 p.m. on Friday, because then you won't get your 75 minutes.
Gotcha.
Okay?
It's just like the window of being able to take it.
Yes, you get a window.
Got it.
Exactly. So like I said, read the test 1 info sheet that I put on Canvas. It answers all of your questions. So that should be helpful. All right. Any other questions about what's going on? I feel super out of touch sometimes because this class runs itself. So please, if you have questions, please email me. I really try to make sure I'm communicating, but you know, the class just kind of runs and it's all up to you. But I also want to make sure that you're getting what you need out of this. Okay? Cool. So, questions about this stuff? I'm going to meet my deadline tomorrow. Okay. Cool. All right. So if you have your written quiz number 2 around, I'm going to go over that. They were pretty good because I know I went over a homework problem and then it was like the homework problem. So on written quiz number 2, A should have been C of X equals your variable cost plus your fixed cost. Now, some of you went ahead and plugged the 150,000 in. As long as you also had this, I took that as an answer, okay? Because it said in X units, so you wanted to make sure that, like, it was in X units. So it's the equation. Your revenue was 75 times X. Then to find your profit function, remember profit equals revenue minus cost. Now, some of you went ahead and plugged 150,000 in, but again, it was the equation that I wanted. So it was 75x minus $3 x plus 1 million. And so P of x equals 72x minus 1 million. Okay. And then D, then you plugged in 150,000 into the equation, and you should have got 9,800,000. And then E, it wanted to know the break even. So break even is revenue equals cost or profit equals 0. And when you solve that, you end up getting X equals like 13,888.8. Well, you can't have 0.8 of a calculator. And so you have to round up because the 13,888 would not be enough. So you need 13,889 calculators. Okay. And so it was 1 point for this one. Or did I make them 2 points each? I think I made them 2 points each. Everything was 2 points because there's 5 of them. Okay. Questions about written quiz 2? If you felt like I did something wrong when I graded, you can let me know and we can talk about it. Okay, cool. So here we go. Written quiz 3. The first time. So, whoa, that was very, try again.
Can you hear me okay?
You're gonna have to type. I don't know what's going on.
You sound all robotic.
What'd you say?
I said she sounded all robotic.
I know, that's so crazy. I think because internets are so weird that it doesn't always come in very well. I've had that happen a lot. Or like it's delayed and then I'll hear it like 30 seconds later and it's really fast and it sounds like
Yeah, I've been in other classes where students will talk and it'll be like that too. It's funny. You don't even realize it.
Oh, Allison is the robot. Allison, that did not sound like, okay, first of all, it sounded like a guy. Wow. That's crazy. Your internet's all jacked up. I didn't hear any of that. Okay, any other questions about written quiz number 2? Allison, you good? I will post this later too. Perfect. Okay, so we had P equals 5 over Q, and P equals Q over 5. So you just had to set these equal to each other. And like I said, I assumed some things that weren't true because these were harder than I thought they were. So anytime you have two things equal to each other, you cross multiply. All right, so I get Q squared equals 25. And then anytime I have Q squared equals 25, I square root both sides. So I get Q equals plus or minus 5. Well, we don't want negative 5 for price, right? So we would just take positive 5 for Q. And if Q is positive 5, we plug it back in, P is 1. Okay? So then 1, 5 would be our equilibrium point. Okay? All right.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
For my answer on the quiz, I just wrote Q equals 5 and negative 5 and P equals 1 and negative 1. But would that not be right?
I probably wouldn't take off. I'd probably just say you can't have a negative quantity.
Okay.
And so you'll still get the points for it because I'm being pretty lenient when I grade this one, and I know you guys like didn't understand the whole like negative idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So if we just wrote the P equals 1 and Q equals 5, did we get that right, or did we have to write it as an ordered pair?
You would get it right as long as you gave me both.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. All right. So I have this
Professor.
one. Yeah, what's up?
So I wasn't sure in what order we were supposed to write the ordered pair, like whether Q or P was supposed to go first.
Uh-huh.
So I wrote mine. I wrote an ordered pair, and I specified I was going to do QP, and I did 5, 1 for my ordered pair. Would that still be fine?
In this case, yes, because it was probably confusing. Yeah, and that's fine as long as you know that it's 1 then 5, if that makes sense. Because
Now,
price is the x-axis.
Okay, so
the y.
Okay, I wasn't sure which one was which, so
Yeah, you're fine.
But I put 5, 1 as my ordered pair in that order.
That's fine. I'm really gonna be really lenient when I grade this. So like I'm okay if you got this, because that's awesome. But just so you know, it's P then Q.
Okay.
so will P always be price and Q is always going to be like quantity?
Yes.
Okay.
questions, guys. Awesome. All right. So, let's do B. So 5 minus, I apologize for the barking. Hold on 1 second. Matrix, come here. Start barking at the mans. Okay, he's not gonna stop. Okay. Okay, we're gonna square both sides. Oh, virtual learning. Can't wait till we go back to campus. Okay, so square both sides. That means you do 5 minus q times 5 minus q. And this comes out of the hat, or out of the house. Multiply 25 minus 10q plus q squared equals q plus 7. Then you had to set it equal to 0. So you end up getting 18 minus 11q plus q squared equals 0. Factor q minus 9, q minus 2 equals 0. So you got q equals 9 and q equals 2. Now, when you plug those in, one of them's negative, you get a negative price. So we only want q equals 2. And so if q equals 2, p equals 3. So as long as you had 3 and 2, if you wrote it as 3, 2, that's fine. Questions about B? Okay. So C, q minus 4 squared equals q squared plus 2q plus 6. Again, write this twice. I was muted. I'm better now. Can you hear me? Awesome. Yep. Beautiful. My husband is going to get a new router today because this is ridiculous. My internet keeps dropping and I can't take it. Okay. Virtual learning. Okay. It's going to be fine. Anyway, what were we talking about? I don't even remember what I said. Oh, any questions on A, B, or C? Okay. So then number 2 was actually not hard. That one was doable. So you had f of x equals 3x plus 2, x1 equals 4, and x2 equals 6. So average rate of change is f of x sub 2 minus f of x sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And that formula was in your notes, okay? So I would find f of x sub 2, which is 20. Then f of x sub 1, which is 14. So then you just plug it in. 20 minus 14 over 6 minus 4. That gives me 6 over 2. So my average rate of change is 3. Okay? All right. Now, number 3 was only ridiculous because of x to the 5th. Okay? Now, some people didn't realize that I wanted you to use the definition of a derivative. I clarified that. Again, we're all learning here. I told you could have thrown this in, like once you've done the x plus h to the 5th, you could have like Googled it to figure out, to make sure it was right, okay? Then minus x to the 5th all over h, okay? So then when you FOIL all that out, you get x to the 5th plus 5x to the 4th h plus 10x to the 3rd h squared plus 10x squared h cubed plus 5x h to the 4th, then plus x to the 5th, then you're, plus h to the 5th, my bad. And then minus x to the 5th all over h. Okay. Then your x to the 5ths cancel. So then you get 5x to the 4th h plus 10x cubed h squared plus 10x squared h cubed plus 5x h to the 4th plus h to the 5th all over h. Factor out an h. Okay. So then my h's cancel. And I get 5x to the 4th plus 10x cubed h plus 10x squared h squared plus 5x h cubed plus h to the 4th. And since I'm taking the limit as h approaches 0, no, you cannot do the shortcut on the redo. Okay, you still need to show me all the work. But you can check it with the shortcut, but you still need to do it the long way. Okay.
Did we get partial credit if we did it shorthand, or did we just get it wrong?
You got it wrong. Because technically you didn't know that for written quiz number 3. Technically you hadn't learned it yet. I'm pretty sure. So for written quiz 3, you hadn't learned the shortcut yet, unless I'm mistaken.
Written quiz 3 was over 1.
3 and 4, or R5 1 3 1 4. So I don't think you had learned the shortcut yet, unless I'm mistaken, and maybe that's why I gave you such a hard one. My internet's not working on my computer, so I can't even check. Anybody want to agree, disagree? Did you already know the shortcut? And maybe that's why I gave you such a difficult one.
I'm trying to see if we did, because I think we did, but I'm looking at it now and I'm not sure. I'm trying to find
Okay.
it.
I gotta know. Oh, you learned it for quid. Okay. Yep. Okay. So, you did not know the shortcut as of quiz 3. So I clarified on the quiz to use this because I think that's where we had a disconnect for some of you. Okay. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay. I'm learning to clarify things because some people get ahead and then,
Yeah, I think I just missed it on there.
yeah, that's all good. All right. And then you had to plug in 2 and you got 80. Okay. Questions? So
Okay,
again,
so
go ahead.
oh, sorry. I did get 80, but I used the shortcut.
Right. So you wouldn't get any points
So
because I want you guys to show me that you know how to do this.
okay.
Because that's the only way I'm going to know that you knew how to do that because the test is on my labs. Does that make sense? So I just wanted to make sure you could do the difference quotient. But I made it easier, I'm pretty sure, on the redo. But yeah, if you just did the shortcut, then you got 0 points because technically you didn't know it from this class yet. Okay, so you just got to make sure if like you've taken calculus before, though, that you know the shortcut, you can't use it unless it's specified. Okay, so if it says use the long way, do the long way. Okay. Retake quiz is due Monday. So along with written quiz 5. Okay, so that was written quiz number 3, the crazy. Now I want to go over written quiz 4. So again, the redo is due Monday, the same day written quiz 5 is. Okay. All right. On this one, number 1, you could use a shortcut, which was nice. So 1a, 4x cubed plus 6x. That's your derivative. B, y equals 4 square root of x. You had to change this to x to the half. Question?
Yeah, so I pulled up the PDF to quiz 3 and it doesn't specify that we were supposed to use. I know that we didn't learn beforehand, but I did take calculus before, so when it didn't specify, I kind of
Right. So you have to be careful with that, and that's the one thing. So I specified on the other one, but because you hadn't learned it, I don't assume that you've known it before. Does that make sense?
So even if on the quiz it didn't specify, but we did know how to do it that way and got the answer right, we're still gonna get
wrong.
it wrong.
Yes, because you hadn't learned it yet. But like I said, I specified on the other one. Does that make sense?
I have the quiz with me, and it doesn't say anywhere that you
Yeah.
can't use it.
Okay, I understand it doesn't say it, but you technically hadn't learned the shortcut yet. Do you understand what I'm saying? So all you knew is that the derivative was f of x plus h minus f of x over h. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So because you hadn't learned it yet, I did not assume that you already knew it, because anytime they ask you for the derivative, all you knew that the definition of a derivative was f of x plus h minus
Even
f
if
of,
we've learned it in the past.
well, yeah, because I don't know if you've learned it or other people haven't. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I guess it was just that I showed the work, so I was kind of confused on like, since I showed the work and got the right answer.
Right,
yeah,
but it's not about the right answer. It's about using the difference quotient. It's about knowing how to use this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So, just for future reference, if you've taken calculus, be careful, because you cannot assume that like you've learned it already. Okay. Now, I apologize for not clarifying, but again, I went off what you've already learned. So you knew that the derivative was this at that point. You did not know there was any other way to do a derivative. Okay. Does that clarify those of you who have taken calculus before? Okay. That's how I run all my calculus classes. If you've even if you've learned it before, even if you Google how to do it the short way, you need to know how to do it the long way, okay? So on the test, you can do whatever you want because you don't have to show work, okay? So just be careful that you don't overstep that. But I did clarify because I figured some of you just went ahead and did it the shortcut way. So I'm going to make sure I clarify everything on all the quizzes just for that, okay? Is that a deal? Are we good? Those of you who,
Professor, I'm sorry, go
what's
ahead.
up?
On number 1A, I think it's 3 cubed plus 3x squared. Or, yeah.
Oh, it is x cubed. Yep, thank you. So 3x squared plus 6x. There we go.
And Professor,
All right.
on that, do we have to, is that sufficient as far as showing work for just writing 3x squared plus 6x?
Yes, that is
Okay.
sufficient because you've learned how to do the shortcut.
Okay.
If you stopped here, that would be okay, but you need to know that it goes in the denominator. Okay, so that's the derivative.
Oh man. So for B, if I wrote 2 over x to the 1/2, that would be definitely wrong, right?
No, 2 over x to the 1/2 is also okay.
Okay, cool.
I'm okay with that. Yep, same thing. I don't necessarily need it to be in a square root. Okay. All right. Number 2, find the equation of a tangent line. Y equals x cubed minus 2x plus 1. And hopefully you got my instructions when you open the quiz, okay, that you were supposed to use the point 322 because for some reason my point did not download. So I threw it in the quiz instructions. Okay. So then you take the derivative, you plug in 3, and you get 25. That's my slope. So then y minus 22 equals 25 times x minus 3. Okay. So if you stopped there, that's fine. If you kept going and you got y equals 25x, whatever negative 75 plus 22 is, negative 53. You're good. Okay, and that's your equation of a tangent line. All right. Number 3, you had to do product rule both ways. Okay, so y equals 4x minus 3, 2x squared plus 3x plus 5. So using the product rule, derivative of the first times the second plus the derivative of the second times the first. Simplify. Okay, and you get 24x squared plus 12x plus 11. And that's your derivative if you use the product rule. So if you don't use the product rule and you first FOILed it out, so 2x squared, 3x, 5, 4x, negative 3. So you get 8x cubed minus 6x squared, 12x squared, negative 9x, 20x, and negative 15. So then 8x cubed plus 6x squared plus 11x minus 15. Derivative 24x squared plus 12x plus 11. Okay. So as long as you got the answer for both. All right. You didn't have to do number 4 because you didn't learn the quotient rule. Some of you did it because you already knew how to do it, but I deleted that one off. Any questions?
Yeah, so on that one, I definitely knew the answer, but when I wrote it, I accidentally forgot my X behind my 12 on one of them on part A, but I had the right answer on B and I showed my work for both. Do I still get like partial credit on that or?
Oh no, you'll totally get partial credit. I might like take off
Okay.
0.25.
Right, because I forgot to write the X.
Yeah, no, you're fine. I always give partial credit. So if you just dropped a negative or dropped a sign, it's never more than a half a point.
Okay, awesome.
And I do quarter points, so we should be fine. All right. Okay, questions on written quiz 4.
No, I still have a question about written quiz 3.
What's up?
And so on the last question on that one,
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering about like how does the canceling work with like plus 10x squared h squared and then like plus 5.
Like right here?
Yeah.
Because you're plugging in 0 for h.
Okay.
Yeah, so then all of those just go away. Does that make sense?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. All right. So my last set of things. So again, written quiz. So written quiz number 4, number 5 will be graded by next Wednesday. Okay. I'll probably have written quiz 4 graded way before then. And then I want you guys to have started the practice for test 1 for next week because I'm going to go over both of those. It is in the module where it says week of September 21st. Okay. All right, and then I will go over written quiz number 5 and the written quiz 3 do-over. If you choose to do that, that's fine. Again, if you have questions, please email me. Don't wait until we get here for you to ask questions, okay? So, any questions while I pull up attendance? Okay, I promise our second set of written quizzes will be a lot easier now that I know. Is the test all multiple choice? How about I don't lie to you and look. Sorry guys, it takes me a minute because it's not populated in your thing yet. I'm pretty sure it's all multiple choice, but you might have to put in something, so that's why I don't want to say yes or no. Give me 1 second. Wish I could just look at it. Okay. Preview. Okay. No, it is not all multiple choice. There are some multiple choice and there are some free response. So on the practice, there is a free response practice and then a multiple choice. So when I say free response, like you have to put it in the little box and simplify your answer. Okay. So, yeah, there's 25 questions and I'm guessing, I haven't counted, but whatever is on the practice is how many there are. Okay. Any other questions?
I have a question about the homework that was due on Monday, I think, or Sunday.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot
So
to ask you that. Yep.
I emailed you about that.
Did I not reply?
No.
Oh no. What's your name?
Natalie Rappel, RY.
Oh, right. Oh, okay.
Cause yeah, I just was like struggling with some of the problems.
Okay.
But
got you. Well, once I do attendance, I can help you.
Okay.
Yes. And guys, if it's not turned in by the end of the day, you only lose 25%. So now that doesn't, it sounds like a lot, but it's not. So my thing is try to get it done. And if like at the end of the semester, you know, that one homework that took you one extra day changes your grade from a whole letter grade, then we can have a conversation. Okay. But if you don't get it done that day, you definitely need to try to come to office hours on Monday. And also you can make an appointment with me. So if you have classes on Monday and you can't come to my office hours, just email me and say, you know, Mrs. Weddington, do you have time on Tuesday or Friday before it's due? And I can, you know, give you a time and we can meet on Zoom and we can work. Okay. I'm pretty flexible and I definitely want to help you. Okay. All right. Attendance is what I was doing. So if you're good and you're feeling good, you can leave after attendance. If you want to go over some more problems, then